Well, hello. I'm talking here at 3:50 p.m., January 1st, 2023, which it's just a New Year's greeting. It has been getting warmed up again now for the past week, since we had cold and freezing weather there at, Christmas Eve on Saturday and Christmas Day on Sunday. But now by Thursday, it started getting a little warm again, up into the 50s and 60s. Didn't make it to the Christmas parade on earlier, back last month, because really I was sick that week. So I just couldn't make it in. Lucky that I was able to make videos of other things this last year, and now I hope to do more this year. Some milestones. Now, it's been 30 years ago. This will be March the 12th of 1993. On a Saturday, we had that big blizzard that kind of even kept school off even through that next 3 days of Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, the 17th, until finally back in school Thursday and Friday of that week. And that was even my senior year of high school. I graduated that June of 93. Should have really been graduated a year before, but I was in third grade twice, which that's been 40 years ago since when I was in third grade the first time. I don't really want to talk about any more of my personal life. Now, this year also does mark 40 years since the Return of the Jedi, the third movie in the Star Wars trilogy, was released. In the original trilogy. And then, 16 years later, in 1999, they started the first of the 3 prequel movies. Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. But now, there have been other times there had big snows of over 2 feet of snow around here. Even not quite a year later, after 93, it did again in 94, and then in January 94, and then 2 years later in 96, January 96. And then in February 2003, it had a big snow. Hadn't seen much of anything like that since that time in this area. Yes, so even the March 12th of this year will mark 20 years since Elizabeth Smart was recovered after 9 months after she was abducted from her home in Salt Lake City by Brian David Mitchell. It was kind of a miracle that she was found safe and still alive, since there were others that, even a little girl named Samantha Runyon was abducted and murdered. She was 6 years old back in the fall of 2002. But Elizabeth Smart is now 35 years old. And even in November of 93, they made a made-for-TV movie about her story. Even Lifetime had one here about 2 or 3, it was like 5 years ago, from her point of view, just her with that Mitchell and Barzy, based on the novel she wrote. Now, the one that came out in 2003, the girl that was playing Elizabeth was also Rob Lowe's daughter on The Christmas Shoes. Came out a year earlier. And that movie. And this winter also makes 10 years now since, well, Skylar Neese's remains were found. And right after Rachel Schoaf admitted that she had stabbed her, along with Sheila Eddy, had also stabbed her too. And they were both convicted for it. And those two young girls just threw away the rest of their lives, and they're now 27 years old. I don't know if they've had birthdays yet or not. They probably are 27 by now. And there were two 16-year-old girls with, well, all three were 16 years old, of course, but they just had to plot it for a while to kill her, and they ended up doing it that one night in July of 2012. And they later had a book put out about it. Somebody wrote a book on that story. There wasn't even a Lifetime movie called Death Click that told a story that was, well, that was supposed to be based on that. Was in February of 2014 I made a short video, a message to the girls who killed Skylar Neese, tell them what I thought about them, and put it on YouTube. It was on there though up until about June, and I just took it down. Decided it was done, and the story's old now, so I just took it down. No need to leave it up there for years. Here last month marked 10 years since that Sandy Hook shooting. And those that were first graders then are now juniors in high school. And what them little kids would be by now. And then here, even 9.5 years later, last May, we had to deal with another tragic shooting at an elementary school down in Texas. So I made a video talking about that. Everything else was good, even with the fair back in August. And I'd like to make more videos again at the fair and the car shows. Yeah, my watch beeping at 4 o'clock. Must have heard that. It's bad I don't even have a family to make videos with either, to have kids to put in the videos. It's been 10 years ago since I did get on satellite internet, since still couldn't get broadband internet where I am, and started watching people on YouTube. And came across Shaytards and Bertaley, which Bertaley's not really doing any more videos anymore, haven't in a while. I talked about a lot of these last year on that New Year's video. I made that New Year's greeting video last year. Let me make another video, more videos talking about past stories that have happened, especially in 2003 and back then. Just don't want to talk about it in this same video. Yeah. Be 11 more years before a year starts on a Sunday again. Now, speaking of, was watching Shaytards, and Gavin Butler has gone off on an LDS mission to Mexico for the next 2 years. A lot of these YouTube families I've been watching are Mormons. There are all these Mormon families on there. Yes, I do like them people, yeah. Yeah, the Holines, Bonnie and Joel, and their kids never did make it back to West Virginia any this last year. But I doubt that I'd ever meet them in person unless I just run into them. They would happen to be in the same area where I am at the time. But I think that this is all I am going to say, and hope to continue making more videos even through this winter. Maybe by the time spring comes and things are going on. So, I will see you later, and goodbye.